What's going on, y'all? Chuck Nunface here. Happy New Year to you. First video of 2025, and I'm going to talk about the knife that I think wins, in my humble, non-binding opinion. I think this is the knife of the year of 2024, and it is the Coldsteel AD10 Full TI in 3V. Now, this was released over the summer. It was a Blade Show exclusive, at least initially. There's some controversy around it. They weren't delivered properly. People had pre-ordered them, and then they found out they could only get them at the show. Whatever it was, you can go back and figure out whatever the shenanigans were that were going on there. But then they were available online. So this version, and then the version with the black handle, which actually I also have right here. The black handled version. So that's a DLC or PVD coated black handle. And then of course this is just a blasted TI. But yeah, no, real quick, subscribe to the channel if you're new or returning and not subscribed. I certainly would appreciate that. It does help YouTube and the algorithm, and let YouTube know. Every subscription lets YouTube know that my channel is something that maybe they should be pushing out to people who have similar interests. So that certainly would be appreciated if you wanted to go ahead and subscribe to the channel. So this knife right here, this particular one I got first. Let me back up a little bit. They were available at Blade Show. Long story short, they were available at Blade Show in June. People were picking them up there. They were going for about $400. Which I think, in my opinion, is 100% fair value for a knife like this. And then they ended up going to Midway USA. Whatever stock they had left over, they sent over to Midway. They've got Coldsteel has a great relationship with Midway. And they were selling them, at least the full TI versions, for $250. And they were doing it for like 3 months before they finally sold out. They only recently sold out in the last month or so of these, and I was banging the drum. This is not my first video. Maybe this is the first video for me that you're checking out, or the first video on this knife for me that you're checking out, but it's not the first time I've shot a video on this knife. I've really been banging the drum on how awesome this knife is since I've had it. But yeah, they came out with these. I think it was like 600 of these, or 1,000 of these, and 200 of these. They came out with something like that. This one is number 685, as seen on the triad lock, and this is number 86, as seen right there. But yeah, you get so much knife for your money in this configuration. The AD10 has been around for a while. It's not new. It's an Andrew Demko custom design. It's been around for a long time, and then he's got some customs out there. So, and then he has his collaboration for when he worked with Coldsteel, when they brought these out with Coldsteel, and they're typically just like a Grivory or a FRN type of handle. They do have a version with G10 as well, G10 and S35VN, and then they have the AUS10 with FRN handles. Triad lock, which is, it's widely regarded as one of the strongest locks out there for a folding knife. So it's a lockback design, which may not appeal to a lot of people, that prefer frame locks or liner locks or access locks or things like that. But I think, for a knife like this, I've really kind of warmed up to the back lock in 2024. A few things I've kind of warmed up to in 2024. One is the back lock. The other one is lanyards on knives. I was never really much of a lanyard guy, but I've kind of gotten into them this year. I don't know, kind of nice. Kind of think they're kind of fun. And then lastly is aluminum scales on knives is the third thing that I got to in 2024. I always kind of looked at aluminum scales as being substandard, but I think for certain types of knives, I think they're perfect. But in any case, I digress. Full TI slabs, no skeletonization or anything like that. 3V steel, which is a real tough steel, nice steel. I really like 3V. I think it works really well on a knife like this. Sharpens up beautifully. As you can see, I've got a nice cami edge on there. This knife has some scratches. All my Demko knives tend to get scratches on them because I use them. They get used, for sure. And yeah, it's just overall, I think at $400, you were getting your money's worth with this knife. Now this one I had gotten in a trade. I traded my Les George Mark III, Mark III, whatever it is, kind of the dagger looking one. I traded that for this, and at the time I was like, yeah, this is an awesome deal. This is the knife I wanted to get this. I didn't realize that they were going to be on sale. If I knew that this knife was going to be available for $250, I probably wouldn't have traded for this. But in any case, I made the trade, and I was very happy I did. And so I have one of the more limited edition black handled ones, and I couldn't resist when these came out to Midway for $250. I just couldn't. I mean, there's just, for $250, $400, like I say, I think you're getting your fair value. I think you're getting a lot of knife for your money. And compared to what's out there, I think $400 was a fair price for this knife. $250 was an absolute lead pipe lock. I mean, I don't think there was anything better released in 2024 for the money. The materials that you got, full TI, 3V steel, bomb-proof lock. I just don't think you could have gotten anything else for $250 that was as good and as premium feeling as this knife right here. I mean, yeah, you know, the one thing that I could say is it's got not going for it. Well, two things maybe. I mean, it's not USA made, but it is made in Taiwan. Taiwan does good stuff, and you know, we've got a good working relationship with Taiwan, at least for the time being, since they're not mainland China. And secondly, I will say this on both of my AD10s: the grinds aren't perfect on them. They are a little bit uneven, and it kind of is evidenced when you sharpen it. It's gotten better, but there's like still a section on this side which hasn't been really hit on the stones. It's still the original factory bevel, as opposed to this side, which is all a bevel that's been sharpened by me. So it's not, and it's the same with this one right here. So they weren't perfectly ground, but I'm actually just letting that slide because I think this knife delivers so much quality that it's really, I hate saying I'm just going to give it a pass, but I'm just going to give it a pass. I think this knife is good enough where it warrants a pass. Not a whole lot came out in 2024 that really excited me. I mean, I did get a bunch of knives. I made, purchases and trades, and I sold a bunch of things and got some new things and everything else, but there wasn't a hell of a lot that came out in 2024 that really excited me from a new release standpoint. And now, I know that this isn't a new release. It's been around for ages, but this version came out, and I think it's just knife of the year. Absolutely. Some other knives that really kind of caught my interest that were released. I mean, Microtech did some updates on their LUDT. I still haven't got one of those, but I like that knife. I think it's pretty cool, that Gen 3 on that. The Gen 3 Combat Trudon, whatever you want to call it. Those Gen 3 Microtech out the fronts. Those are really nice too. Spyderco had some cool releases, and I got the 204P Knifeworks exclusive Mannix. Picked that up. But other than that, there's others I'm not thinking of right now that were cool. I mean, the Military 2 came out this year, and I like that knife. I like that knife a lot. So I can't really say that there was nothing else that really interested me. I mean, I got a bunch of knives in, but most of them were kind of retreads and things that have been around for a while. But this one was probably, if I had to pick, the best release of 2024, it would be the full TI 3V AD10. I just think it delivers the most value for the money, especially if you got it from Midway USA during the sale for $250. I mean, I really don't think you can do much better than that. This one right here, I don't think I'm going to keep both. I'll probably end up selling this one at some point. If you are interested, hit me up on Instagram. We'll see if we can make something happen on that. That's if you're still even watching at this point. Let me know what you think your favorite knives of the year are, of 2024. Go ahead and drop something in the comments. What's your favorite pickup? It doesn't have to be a brand new release or anything like that, but I would be curious to see what your favorite releases are, what my viewers' favorite releases are, especially of new knives for 2024. I would find that interesting. So yeah, go ahead and leave that in the comments. Interestingly enough, Coldsteel does have some cool things happening in 2025. Kind of a quick sidebar. This video is already running a little longer than I wanted it to, but Coldsteel's, ever since GSM Outdoors bought them, Lynn Thompson sold the company to GSM Outdoors, they've done fine. I would like to see a return to XHP over S35VN. They're doing some new releases now in 2025 of some classic models that they've had. They're going to be XHP, so that's pretty cool. They're doing they're updating things with the with a Recon line, where they've got the MagnaCut Recon. Those are made in Italy. I mean, I think GSM is actually doing some pretty cool stuff with the Coldsteel IP. So hopefully that will continue. I'm kind of curious to see what else Coldsteel is going to be offering in 2025. They're definitely they're an intriguing player in the knife game. I mean, obviously they're very established, but I think they've got some good things going on right now. So I'm curious to see what 2025 brings, to the knife world from Coldsteel. So that's gonna do it for me, y'all. Appreciate y'all checking it out. Go ahead and drop a comment, like the videos, share it out there, definitely subscribe to the channel. I certainly would appreciate that. Peace.